So I'm here with two very exciting guests. I'm with David and Nicholas, and one of the number one things that we find with our mastermind members is this whole concept of family and generational wealth. It's one thing to make money, it's another thing to keep money, but more importantly, how do you pass it on? And one of the things that, Nicholas is God's partner from Calio, and they've always said to me, Scott, this is such an important component, and yet we haven't known how to solve it. And so, Nicholas, tell me just quickly your relationship with David and the whole conscious capital of, because again, you guys help wealthy people. That's what a family office is. But there's a whole social concept to this that I think is really critical that you're embarking on at the moment.
Yeah, well, thank you, Scott. Thanks for having us. And to give you a sense of this journey, we met David must have been like
12 years ago.
10, 12 years ago. And we had broken away, as you know, from the banks to authentically partner with people to align their wealth to a life that they would want to live and to protect, grow their assets, both for themselves and for generations. And a lot of the time, what one was finding is the differences between what the generations were wanting and how to kind of marry that, how to not only in terms of what they would do with the money, but how they would invest that money. And I think that as time has gone, we've developed processes and journeys and learnings through practical experiences, mainly largely through our relationship with the Lipschitz family. And David will probably share a bit about that. But from our perspective, you talk about conscious capital. What does that mean? For me, it's a journey. It's not a place you arrive at. And it's been this awareness of the role of capital in our life and what constitutes capital. We all know that there's the financial element, right? Which is, stocks and money in the bank. There's the fact that you can own land and that you can own buildings. There's the social capital, which are all the connections and relationships that we've built up over time. For example, let's say we didn't have any financial money today, but you still had your social capital, your connections, your network, the people that you had developed over the years, you'd be able to generate wealth again. So that's social capital. You've got different forms of capital. There's experiential capital. And I think what we'll talk about are the different forms of capital and how to balance that to produce the kind of outcome that the family is looking for. And I think, maybe over to David to give a little bit of experience of how, this generational wealth relates, to your life.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, David, to give very quick context, we'll go into a lot more detail when we're on the webinars. But, as you said, McKinsey's 10 years in India, dealing with family-run businesses, which are some of the biggest in the world. India, Southeast Asia, it's very well-known family businesses that go multi-generational. You've studied psychology, you've studied what did you call it, a financial psychologist. Like, it's amazing the depth of what you've got. How do you unlock this key? It's this key everyone's asking is, how do we do it well for everyone? Well, ideally, everyone wants their children to be set up well and multi-generational, but yet it's been one of these things that has literally been the bane of most families.
So I went through this process being a psychologist, as you mentioned, and I also did a lot of consulting with McKinsey and had that experience of working with a lot of family businesses and family-owned business, family-controlled businesses. I was custodian for my father and discovered, because he got dementia, and discovered that he was exceptionally wealthy. I wasn't aware of it and I wasn't prepared for it. So I had to go on the long journey myself. All I knew was around the skills that I had. So I applied those to my own experience and learned a lot through becoming a financial psychologist in America. And going through our own journey around understanding who we were, what stage of our lives we were at, what our values were, and understanding how my father lived in his life and how he established his own set of values and beliefs around money and fears, very importantly. His anxieties around what his inheriting children would do we would blow all the money. And it's that key that I found useful to unlock, and it's a generational thing, to allow the kids or Gen 2 to be able to listen to their parents and understand their context, their set of values, and for the parents to listen to the children and what they're currently facing in their context. And often it is because there's an independent person who can ask questions, who can ask difficult questions and provocative questions with almost like a referee within the family. And we can put rules of engagements and guidelines in place for the family to be able to help them navigate through this, so that the parents can feel a sense of, hopefully even a sense of pride and a sense of that the family name or the legacy is in good hands with the next generation, so they can let go some of that anxiety as they hand over. And the younger generation can say, they can put their stamp on it. They can see the context that they're in and apply family values to that context.
Well,
that I find is...
Yeah. Sorry, after you.
No, that's what I was saying. That I find, you asked the question about what is the key. It sounds, even as I say it, it sounds fairly simple, but the complexities and the dynamics of the family are so fraught with generations of anxieties and beliefs and myths about money. And as was our family, and it was getting to understand what I held to be so, like I'd hold on so tightly what I'd views about money and beliefs about money and fears about money, and being able to let go of those was so liberating, and actually has turned out to be getting better returns for the family at the same time.
Well, look, it's so interesting, and I want to keep this short. You know, I think that we've had this incredible partnership with Calio, and yet one of the biggest problems we've had is this word around generational wealth. And I'm super, super excited, you know, with Karen unlocking the Enneagram of wealth, which is all about the psychology and almost at the individual component. And now we're bringing the family to the table. I really think this is game-changing stuff for people to be able to participate in. And I just wanted to say two things that I think are relevant. One is that our purpose is to empower everyone to invest like the top 1%. So just having this conversation, 18th of June, Nicholas and David are kindly going to share with everybody some of the important, you know, understandings. And then, as we always do with our mastermind members, we're going to go deep in August at a level from the mastermind. And then the best part is we're actually going away for the weekend at the end of August to Nicholas's venue, which I'm super excited about as well. And you know, it's been the cradle of humankind. It's literally the founding place of humanity. So you know, that's a pretty exciting location in itself. And really, between Karen, Nicholas, and David, we're going to marry together people getting to know themselves, how they make better decisions for themselves, and then the whole family component and the generational wealth. And for me personally, to do that with a group of like-minded people, it pretty much doesn't get better. So I just want to thank the two of you for sharing a bit of an insight into what's coming.
Just one correction there. The founding members of the place that we'll be at is very much David, the Lipschitz family, Calio, and I've played a role in that. And I think, you know, you coming into the fray now, we're developing it. And it's one of the reasons why we've created the place, is to go back to the cradle of humankind, to reconnect to ourselves, to others, to nature, and then to kind of understand what our values are from a place of, you know, connection, and then to invest and structure our portfolios to match what our values are. That's the intention. And yeah, so I just thought I'd clarify.
Oh, brilliant, Nicholas. Thanks for the catch, because I wasn't fully aware of that. And yeah, look, I could talk all afternoon about this. As I said to you, I love to share, and this is really exciting. But I'm super excited. You know, guys, thanks so much for your time. Deeply, deeply appreciate it. And what I'm most excited about, David, you know, and to you, Nicholas, is that this stuff used to be kept in the domain of McKinsey, and you had to be $1 billion family in India to be able to afford McKinsey to then get David. And we need to change the world. It's time that everyone else gets access to this stuff, and I'm deeply appreciative of that.
Thanks. It's exciting for me too.
It's exciting for me too. Thank you very much
for being a part of it.